So when we buy used vehicles, we generally, for the most part, most people have a checklist that they go through. Maintenance records, mileage, they have proof of maintenance, what kind of miles, are they highway, are they in town, so on and so forth. You want to inspect the vehicle. You want to, check the suspension, the steering, the brakes, transmission, all of that. But times are changing. They're getting weird. And I want to hit on that a little bit. So let's go ahead and roll the intro, and we're going to go ahead and get into today's. And now what I want to talk about in today's episode is something I keep seeing pop up on Facebook groups and all that, and that's, should you buy a high mileage truck? Well, that's going to kind of depend on what your version of high mileage is. Some people think 100,000 is a lot of miles, and some people think 300,000 is a lot of miles. Some people wouldn't even bat an eyelash at 300,000. Now, Leah, on the other hand, is what I consider to be more higher mileage. She's got 275K on her. I consider, 250 to 300, and that's higher mileage. It doesn't make me nervous per se, but some people it might. Now, we're not talking about my trucks today. We're talking about other trucks out there. I already have mine. I'm content with what I have. It is what it is. But I'm seeing more and more people are asking the question, should I buy, or at least what stuck out to me because I own them, should I buy a higher mileage diesel? Now, we've also got a Cummins Outback as well. I say yes and no, because it's not only a good investment, but it's a bad investment. Let me explain. Well, the hop, it's a bad investment because it's got higher mileage on it. It's been beat on. You don't always exactly know the history on it. You've got your wear parts, your basic maintenance. Let's be completely honest with you. Nobody, and if they do, it's a very small percentage of people out there actually take the time to look at the little informational booklet that comes with your vehicle, the owner's manual, and treats it the way that they should. I mean, how many times have you seen on Facebook or the forums, well, what oil should I run? I will say, though, that it can be a good investment as well, because the type of people that I hang around with are, for the most part, mechanically inclined and also eager, willing to learn how to do different things, acquire different skill sets, so on and so forth. Something like this, which, again, I'm just using this truck as an example. The only thing that I've had to do to it is an FPR and a power steering pump and change fluids on it. I've been really fortunate with this truck. But you can learn how to work on these trucks. You can pick them up for cheaper. You can see, beat up, it's rusty, it's higher mileage. But you can learn how to work on them. That way, when you go to pull the trigger on a newer, nicer truck, at least you have that knowledge and that ability, that skill set, if you will, in your back pocket, to where if something happened with that truck, you can repair it. Because that's the other side of this coin too, is that labor costs to work on a diesel, they're not cheap. So if you have the tools, if you have a decent space, which, don't get me wrong, I haven't always had a pole barn. These past 7 years have been good to me. Everything else I've had to do either in a parking lot or in a driveway in the middle of all the weather. But if you can learn those skills, and how to even, I mean, even if you're parts changer, you know, you have the ability to diagnose, switch the parts out, make it work. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be a mechanic, but that skill set, it will take care of you in the, as far as I'm concerned, that'll take care of you in the long run, because again, you know, $80 to $120 an hour for a labor cost, which they're going by the book on, that adds up quickly, especially when, you know, if you learn tips and tricks and, you know, watch a couple YouTube videos and you can learn how to do something faster, or, you know, put parts on it that make your life easier because you necessarily don't need that luxury, or, you know, something as simple as a forward-facing thermostat housing versus the regular one on these LB7s go a long way to help with doing an FPR or something. And let's also not forget to mention too that, you know, the cost of new trucks. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see everybody in a brand new truck doing their thing, succeeding at life, all of that. I really would. I don't wish failure upon anybody. But the price of these new trucks, the quality of them, they're not what they used to be. You know, they're finding ways to throw cheaper parts at them and cut corners and this, that, and the other thing. And there's really nothing that comes, there's no good that comes from cutting corners. I mean, we all have that relative in our family that when they see a truck of this caliber right here, they go, now that's a truck. That's when a truck was made. But that's the thing that we keep hearing, is that, you know, they don't make them the way that they used to anymore. To diagnose them, it's not basic hand tools anymore. It's expensive scanners and that, which, don't get me wrong, to do one of these two, yeah, you could get by with a basic scanner to a certain degree, but there's going to be manners where you're going to need to be able to look at, you know, your balance rates and all that, your return rates, your desired rail pressure versus your actual, so on and so forth. So a little bit of investment, again, along with the tools and that, it goes a long way. I could go on this for hours. I mean, absolute hours. There's a lot that I've missed. There's a lot I want to cover on that I haven't covered on, but, you know, it is what it is. And to be completely honest with you, a higher mileage truck, me personally, no, it doesn't bother me. I do feel, though, if you can afford a newer truck and it's, you know, if you're using the truck to run a business or it makes you money, obviously go with the newer truck. If you're a younger gun and you're wanting to learn, or you're looking for a project, or, you know, you need something to get by, then yeah, higher mileage truck may be the better route for you to go. You know, more easier on the finances, if you will, fortunate, because at least one of my higher mileage trucks was a plow truck its entire life. It has had the snot beat out of it, but thankfully they put the money back into it. They had the receipts to prove everything, and everything was verifiable. So a lot of it comes down to me as well, the purchaser. So when you're out there buying that truck, don't just say, you know, take their word that they have everything. Make them prove it, you know. Get a buddy that's got a scanner. Check the damn thing out. You know, don't be afraid to put somebody on blast. Seriousness, though, don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, you are the purchaser. You're there with the money. You're going to be the one that's buying it. So you don't have to leave with it. You can always leave it on the table and find the next one in line. It's not the end of the world. I've done it. It sucks because I'm impulsive, very impulsive. My wife can vouch for me, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So again, there's a lot that I want to talk about. There's a lot that I'm missing, but it is what it is. You gotta. I see benefits of both sides of it, and I see the benefit side of it, and I also see the downside of it. I've been plagued by both sides, and you know what? It's the hand I'm dealt. It's what we do. And as long as the used truck market keeps going the way that it is, higher mileage trucks are going to be more and more of a thing, you know, especially with EPA regulations, this, that, and the other thing. So sure, we'll get into it some more. I'll do another episode of this. I'm going to title this Thursday Thoughts. We'll see what it is. Hell, I might even start doing mileage Mondays, where, you know, now that the weather's going to, well, it's a fall spring, but with the weather getting nicer, I don't think I have a truck that's less than 200,000 miles on it, which is, I don't really give a shit. But I might start doing a mileage Monday and just kind of check in with all of them and, you know, see where everything's at, because a high mileage truck really isn't that bad. Don't get me wrong, I want a brand new one with 0 miles on it, but it's just not in the cards right now. But that's what we got for you. Not going to bother you anymore. And I appreciate all the love and support as always, guys. You guys are the best. I promise you this next episode isn't going to be boring, because I already filmed the video. But we are back into the OBS Duramax swap. You guys know what to do. Take care. God bless. We'll see you on the next one. Be good to one another, guys.